All right, I want to start by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from. Through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Salutations to the elect out there. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into how we're one step closer to the MOTB being, coming to pass. And I came across this video. It says, Real ID and more new travel requirements. You see, Salakia. So all roads lead. All these, roads like this, like more restrictions on travel and how you have to upgrade your IDs and whatnot. All those roads lead to the MOTB, which is Bible prophecy. So before I play the video, let's start with the scripture right here in Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time. What vision? The prophecy of the in Revelations. Let's see if I can get that real fast. Let's see. Small and great. All right. Let's see. All right. This is Revelations. Salakia. Revelations 13 and 16. And this is the prophecy of the MOTB coming to pass. The RFID microchip. Revelations 13 and 16 says, And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. You see? So eventually, this vision is going to come to pass, but it's set for an appointed time. And as you're going to see in the video, that we're getting one step closer to, more restrictions and more, more things that are not going to allow you to live normally like you used to. More restrictions on travel, more restrictions on having, this and that when it comes to your ID and your information being accessible to these, these devils, this beast system. They're going to come more and more with these draconian laws, more and more restrictions. And eventually they're going to introduce the RFID microchip. All right, let's read it again. Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. You see, we're getting close to that time. And when it's introduced, it's going to speak. You're going to have a chip put in your right hand or in your forehead. You see, and it says, though it tarry, though it seems like it's far away, wait for it. You see, so we're waiting for it. It says, because it will surely come and it will not tarry. It's not going to be long before this prophecy comes to pass. All right, let's play this video. It says Real ID and more travel requirements. You see, because eventually the chip is coming, but we have to have, but this devil has to come with more restrictions, and more things that make things harder for you to, do things and, like, going to the store and buying and selling, using cash. They're going to do away with cash eventually. All right, let's play this video. Give you an example of one of those restrictions.
As we mentioned a bit earlier, spring break is here for a lot of folks. In this morning's Consumer Confidential, we're going to break down the important new travel requirements and pay attention because by the time summer arrives, there are going to be some significant changes here. Here to tell us more is NBC News Chief Consumer Investigative Correspondent Vicki Wynn. Vic, good morning.
Good morning to you all.
So let's break this down. This is what they call Real ID, right? You might have seen it on your ID, not even realize that you already had gotten this thing. Some people still need it right now. What is it and how do you get it?
It's about to get real, Peter. Congress enacted this back in 2005. It's taken 20 years. They keep trying to do it, but
Wow.
this May 7th, it's really going
It's like
down.
in a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. And you will need this if you are traveling domestically at any airport in the U.S. The Real ID is available at all DMVs as well as the District of Columbia. And it looks like this. It's a little star in the upper right corner of your license. 3 in 4 people already have it. See, there it is. California went fancy.
think
And
I
actually
have
put
it.
a star
She's
in
a
the
lovely
fair.
lady too,
This
by
is
the way.
Jane Q.
I like
Public.
her
Yes,
dress.
she's lovely. She shows up to do examples for us all the time. That's what it looks like. You'll need it to travel, and here's what you need to get a Real ID. You will need proof of a valid ID, which means your old ID, a passport, anything that has your name, your date of birth, your social security number. We can put that on there to help people understand the documents that they will have to bring. You also need something that shows you are here lawfully, so that could be a passport, your birth certificate, your social security card, a certificate of naturalization. You will
Yep, and this also goes into the prophecy about how a man shall desire to go into a city and not shall be able to. Let's get that precept before I continue the video. And all these requirements and restrictions on travel and whatnot, all these changes, and when buying and selling, they're going to lead to the MOTB. All right, let's get this. Let's see. Let's get this precept. Salakia, bear with me. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You see? Why? Because of these restrictions that they're coming with. These restrictions on travel. And you're not going to be able to buy and sell eventually unless you have the chip, because they're going to do away with cash, you see? Which is going to lead to the MOTB. All right, let's continue the video.
You'll also need 2 proofs of address, meaning
That's
like
a hard
credit
one
card
now,
bill.
because everything's done
It is
online.
online,
You don't
right. You'll have to print it
bills
out.
in the mail anymore.
Yeah, you're so right, and that's good that you're going paperless for the
Not
environment.
looking forward to
You'll
doing
just have
this.
to print it out to bring it to the DMV.
Personal angst.
Oh, yeah, really. And a surprise to no one, I do not have the Real ID. Do you?
No,
yeah,
and
okay,
it's
that makes
stressing
me
me
feel better.
out.
Peter and I do.
Okay, so 50
On brand.
here.
By
So
accident,
on
I will
brand.
say.
Dylan, I love you, but that is on brand. We don't have it, and y'all do. What else can you use if you don't have the Real ID? And also, some people have a mobile ID,
Yes,
just kinda
yes.
like in your phone.
So let's start with the mobile ID. This is a digital version of your driver's license. Some people actually do have this, and it is accepted at TSA. But come May 7th, 2 months from now, it's only going to work if you are in a state that has an actual waiver for the mobile ID. It's kind of a hassle. You'll have to look it up. So just get the Real ID if you can. And then the enhanced ID, really interesting. This is good in 7 different states for you to get back into the U.S. from Canada, Mexico, or the Caribbean. It's available in Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Washington. That's actually 5 states. I don't know why I said 7. It provides proof of U.S. citizenship. You have to pay an extra fee to have an enhanced ID. Think of it as like the middle ground between a Real ID and a passport. But it is not acceptable for international travel.
What about the passport cards?
Yeah, those are great.
That works.
Passport cards totally work.
So, because I don't feel like going to the DMV in the next 2 months, can I just use my
Forever.
passport to travel?
You absolutely can. The
Okay.
passport is always the gold standard. So if you have a passport, that trumps everything. That's like your ace of spades. Take that with you whenever you go. Sometimes people just don't want to carry it when they're
No,
traveling
you're scared of losing
domestically because you're scared of losing it. Exactly. But the good news is you can actually renew passports online now. They've made it a lot easier. There are some criteria you need to meet, though. You got to be over 25 years old. You must have had a passport for at least 10 years. It'll take about 6 weeks to, you cannot travel within 6 weeks if you're doing an online passport renewal, and it's going to be the regular speed. You cannot expedite an online passport renewal.
In the near term, that may be the good strategy, because you got to figure there's going to be a lot of folks showing up at DMVs pretty soon. Let's talk about Europe for a second. Some people may be going across the pond for the first time as spring break approaches here. There's some changes for those.
All right, I want to end the lesson here. You can watch this video on that channel right there. But eventually, more travel restrictions and cash is going to be made digital, which is going to lead to what? The MOTB. You see, this devil, he's going to make it harder with those draconian laws. In the vision, it will come to pass. Of the MOTB being administered, causing all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark. You see, But the elect, they're not going to take it because they trust in the Lord, you see. All right, I'll end the lesson here. All praises, honor, glory, and power to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rikah Kodash. All right, Shalom.